Hello, this is Funny Voice Obi-Wan Kenobi going to reply to the matter that, and hope you don't take offense at my choice to ridicule. I think you may remember my proclivities in this matter. Now, the video subject is Heidegger, and as we know, we must begin all all conversation about Heidegger uh, by pointing out Heidegger was Nazi. He was a stinking Nazi, and to be serious, brought him up. Maybe not because she's a Nazi, but then why? Now, Matt, I very much dislike your idea that philosophy is a preparation for death, and I do not believe that Socrates had that notion. That is not my interpretation. It sounds rather overly deconstructed, let's say. But the thing is, if um, even if that were true, the pre-Socratic philosophers definitely not. Their philosophy was about life and living and achieving a good state of life. Now, one aspect of that is to prepare for death, but to make all of philosophy about that. And no, the whole point of the apology is that Socrates did not commit suicide. He sentenced himself to a reward from the government of Athens they don't like too much. And we do not begin to philosophize at the point of our death considerations, much less our obsessions, our Nazi obsessions that we have when we are a Nazi. Where to go from there? Maybe say Heidegger language. Consciousness, being, time and being, the structure of what you must becoming yourself. You will become yourself, good one, and you must become yourself, but you cannot be yourself because of some reason. And by the way, I'm a Nazi. I'm Heidegger. Hello, I'm a Nazi. So why should we cast philosophy as though it cannot begin until language takes possession of the human mortality? Don't you know that's the way to be fucked up in your head, to obsess about these death cults and blah blah blah, and what happens when I die? What happens when I don't know. You won't know. What happens when you live? That's the question, general question, and the question of philosophy. Now, you say you did not choose to begin. I did choose to begin. I begin dinner, and I begin living some point, and I begin procreating. I definitely begin. Maybe you mean by a conscious choice, but I suspect you don't make so many conscious choice as you think, which is ironic since I'm the one that believe in the free will, huh? So yes. Now, if you make a project in which you have a fact and you're a modern person, like Heidegger, but maybe not a Nazi, you are going to do something so much that you carry death right in your face, and that make it seem like, oh, it's the most important thing in life, death. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's like the number zero is the most important number in the number 256. Okay, whatever you say. I think it is the two, but whatever. Now, I have not been in college a long time, but when I was, I loathed the existentialism because you see, I had already read Nietzsche and the Heidegger. You know, even the Sartre sort of seems pedestrian and kind of like, okay, we will dumb this down. It's like taking Platonism and it's like too complex. How are we going to sell this to the people, Ed? Mm, I don't know, Paul. What do you think? Maybe a religion. We call it life suck. Life sucks religion. How about that? No, I think that's bad marketing. Let's call it Christianity, and let's see how that one works. Okay, great. And then, like 2,000 years later, same guys. I don't think these guys can get the quantum mechanics or the Nietzsche. I don't think they're going to get it. Let's um, let's create a philosophy uh, to dumb that down, so that idiots like most people get that. Let's make it stupid, and we call it. Let's call it. Um, let's call it opposite philosophy from whatever you think makes sense. How about that? No, I think that's bad marketing again, like the last time. Christianity name worked out much better, I think, than your idea would. I think this one we call existentialism, and you know what? We have a Nazi invented, just to sort of fuck with their head. Um, no, no, not invented. Let's say he ripped it off someone from somewhere. Okay, excellent. I think we got a good plan here um, for Heidegger as a Nazi. I think it's sort of dangerous as a poetic language you use when you're promoting philosophy of death. Uh, what the fuck are you thinking, Matt Art? That Red Rocket Light. I don't. It is a philosophy of death. Why? How? This is what my materialism saved me from. You see, because if I have an urge to take a poetic walk around death, and then I see myself and oh, look, I advocate the philosophy of death. I know materially that is means to reject, right? I walk through death and write a poem or try to deal with that. It's a very important issue. If you can't deal with death and say whether you believe in suicide for yourself or in general, then yeah, you have not faced a serious question of life. But to actually promote and as if Socrates and as if ancient look, I believe Sextus Empiricus is a good authority on what ancient philosopher thought because they were just a couple hundred years before him, and he in a good place to see. And he says, as ancient philosophers, we're all trying to get calmness of the heart to find a way to live and think, which made their heart calm and make them feel good. It is not to, it is only about death if someone really needs to go to Dr. Freud and get a little analysis. If that is all they're really afraid of and they spend all that time thinking of death, it's funny because if you are on the edge of death, you think about life, you try to live. And it's mostly a sign of decay to promote death in this way and give it the beautiful living philosophy of poetic language. So, Matt, I mean, my point really